L'honorable chef de l'opposition.
Mr. Speaker, we all knew that the NDP leader had sold out the people and signed on to a costly coalition with this carbon tax prime minister to tax people's food, punish their work, double their housing costs, and unleash crime in their communities. But he claimed that he had torn up the carbon tax coalition so that Winnipeggers would not fire him in a by-election. But as soon as the votes were counted, he betrayed them too and taped back together this carbon tax coalition. How can anyone ever believe what he says again?
The chair is in a very uncomfortable situation here. The honourable leader of the opposition.
The NDP leader was terrified he was going to lose a by-election in Winnipeg, a NDP stronghold. So he put out a Hollywood production where he claimed he had torn up the carbon tax coalition onto which he had signed up, that he was going to stop fighting for his pension and start fighting for the people. But once the votes were counted, he betrayed them again. He is a fake, a phony, and a fraud. How can anyone ever believe what this sellout NDP leader says in the future?
Colleagues,
All right, I'm just going to jump in here if you're trying to figure out what's going on. Well, this is the House of Commons. They often turn the audio off when something's happening, so you can't hear all these people yelling and shouting. The leader of the Conservatives, Pierre Poilievre, has done something pretty unprecedented. In question period, the questions are supposed to be from the opposition parties to the government. What Pierre Poilievre has done instead is he has asked questions of the Bloc Quebecois and of the NDP, not of the Trudeau government, which puts the Speaker in an awkward position because Pierre Poilievre is, of course, allocated a number of questions every question period, leader of the Conservatives. But in this case, he's choosing to draw attention to the fact that both the Bloc and the NDP are going to be supporting the Trudeau government next week. The Conservatives are planning to table a non-confidence motion next week. They wanted one of those parties to support them, both of them, and the parties have said, no, we are going to support the Trudeau government. And Pierre Poilievre calling them out very harshly in no uncertain terms, saying it is hypocritical. Let's listen in here to the Speaker.
Endeavour to respect. It is important that we ask questions in question period to make government accountable to the people of Canada. The questions, by their very nature, should be pointed, should be tough, should be specific, and the answers should also be clear. But colleagues, for this to work, we also have to make sure that we work within the rules that we have. There were some important questions which were asked, but were not related to the administration of the government. And therefore, there weren't responses to that. And it is important to make sure that we do that We have so many other tools available to us as members to make the comments that we need to make outside of question period, to comment about how we want to do. Now, while the microphone was off, there were, I would suspect, although the chair didn't hear that, there might have been some strong words which were exchanged between members. I ask members to please remember that Canadians are looking at us. And let us conduct ourselves in a way really befitting of each of our constituencies and the country as a whole. So, avec cela,